yesterday. Mookie Betts to lead things off, and up and in, knocked him down on the seat of his pants and spun him around.
Hello. Well, how about that? Mookie Betts, that's not the first time he's gone down. Tanaka got him earlier in the season with a fastball up and in.
And now warnings from the home plate umpire, Adam Hamari. He is warning both benches, and here comes Cora. And Amari's telling him, get back, and now he's throwing him out of the ball game. Cora has been run. He is hopping mad. And of course, Gardner got hit by a pitch right out of the gate. Betts gets knocked down, and the manager of the Red Sox has been tossed. And we're in the bottom of the first inning. He is steaming.
Tucker Barnard is really upset about something. He may have been thrown out of this game.
He's certainly walking away like he was. The home plate umpire is Andy Fletcher. I didn't see anything. I was watching the home run ball, but it had to be a pitch that was previous to that he didn't agree with.
Well, you know, he might still be smarting for being called out on the strike three pitch, remember, to end the fourth inning, and maybe there have been a couple of pitches that he felt like Harvey didn't get. Apparently Tucker said something it looked like right after contact was made on this pitch. Well, he was thrown out before the ball got out.
And Juan Soto, before the at-bat, evidently has been ejected by Greg Gibson.
I missed it. I was watching the replay.
Tim Bogar, Bob Henley stepping in to get Juan out of there. And now Davey Martinez will take care of the rest.
So Juan Soto looked down and he looked back at Greg Gibson. I'm looking at it right now. We'll show it to you in a second after the argument ends. He didn't do anything. I think he said the last at bat that ball was down, and Greg Gibson said, "What'd you say to me? Watch this." So he digs in, then he looks at Greg Gibson after he kind of shuffles around. I think he's talking about the last at bat. He said that ball's down. Greg Gibson said, "What'd you say to me?" He said that was a ball last time. That's it, and then you're gone for that. You can see it better from this view. Watch. That ball was down. That ball was down. What'd you say to me? He goes, "You can't talk about the at-bat before as you're getting in the batter's box." It's exactly what he told Juan Soto. He said, he's telling me the ball was outside last at-bat. And Greg Gibson's contention was you can't talk about the last at-bat when you're getting in for this at-bat. And he's hearing it from everybody in the Nats dugout.
Call third strike. And Adrianza's rung up for the first out of the seventh.
And strikeout number 7 for Kluber.
And now somebody's been tossed. And Adrian Johnson just threw somebody out.
I think James Rowson, the hitting coach.
Not the most demonstrative gesture, but someone has been ejected out of the Twins dugout, and it is James Rowson.
Gripping the bat well, and that's oh, there's a pickoff. Mitch Haniger caught leaning, and they're going to call a balk. Home plate umpire Nick Lentz is going to call a balk on Justin.
I'm not sure how the home plate umpire has this call. Nick Lentz is saying that he stepped towards third.
6-0 Mariners. Justin Verlander ejected from this game in the last half inning. Brad Peacock takes over.
Right before AJ comes out, the umpire on the right-hand side raises that right arm. There it is.
Verlander was in that little area there.
Been a big part of it.
Bunted by Contreras, charged by Rendon. He throws it away. Both runners move up. Schwarber to third. Contreras to second.
He's calling him out. Billy Miller is calling Contreras out. Contreras is out, and now Schwarber's going back to first. Boy, that a big play. I guess Contreras called out of the baseline, and Joe really upset. Joe might get tossed.
I seem to have a visual of Joe screaming at Bill Miller in the past. This doesn't happen with regularity, but this isn't unique either. And Joe's arguing, man, that had no influence on the play. And Joe just got ejected.
Yep,
Joe's taking his case.
Look at him.
No, listen, that's where he's got to be in the line of fire of that throw.
Check swing, did he go? He did not.
Ooh, man.
Jerko goes. The ball is belted to left.
Ned's not happy with first base umpire.
Yeah, he is barking it, and so is Danny Duffy. And they're saying, and Adam Hammery has just thrown out Danny.
Well, obviously he would have liked to have had that check swing called, and that would have been the second out. After Duffy gave up the home run, he kind of glanced over there at the first base umpire and then went back to the mound. And then when Ned was walking out to check on him, he looked over at him and
Ned just protecting his players, but I'm sure when they saw the replay underneath that it was a swing and should have been strike three, and the Royals closer to getting out of the inning as Duffy was trying to keep the team in the game. Let's take a look at the swing that he was upset about.
Well, you know, it looked like he offered at it. It was a pitch away. He was trying to protect, but that's a swing to me. But hey, look, sometimes they get called, sometimes they don't, and then that's a hanger right there. That's the hanging breaking ball, the top of the zone, and he was locked in, and then Duffy had to voice his displeasure.
That'll be a warning. After 4, Cardinals were ahead. A warning for Webb, and here comes Mike Shildt, and Molina claiming his case.
You know, umpires try to stop problems, and they create more by doing stuff like this.
Yadi not ejected, Webb was.
Yes, the pitcher ejected. But you can understand the Cardinals' point. They were hit 4 different times. 4 different times, and I'm not saying any of them were deliberate, but
the stretch in the 3-2. Strike call.
Nope. Ben rarely argues, and when he does, he's pretty much always right.
Because he did not throw him out. Joe Maddon coming out to protect him.
And once Zobrist turns on you as an umpire, you're thinking, I got it wrong.
And Zobrist done for the day, having a conversation with Phil Cuzzi. Oh, and he threw him out.
Yeah, well, it was a long conversation.
Was it ever?
I'm surprised Cuzzi allowed him to stay there as long as he did. It looked like it wasn't particularly heated for the longest time, but
wow, that was the whole commercial break.
Yeah, Ben went out there with a mission that you know, Joe went out and supported him and got ran, and I think Joe said, well, he was coming out of the game for Russell anyway, so I think he was going to go out there and just have his piece with Cuzzy and go ahead and almost invite the ejection.
The umpires talking with the Marlins bench at the moment, and I'm not sure talking about, I think it may have something to do with the strike zone, as we mentioned going to break. There's a couple of times tonight.
Well, we've seen the backup cutter to left-handed hitters, JT Riddle, Derek Dietrich, off that outside edge. And I don't think that.
I wonder if Donnie got run.
Yeah, he might have.
That was one, and that's
number two.
Fastball is there for Lucchesi. That's his 5th strikeout. Here comes Torey Lovullo trying to save his shortstop. And Nick Ahmed has been ejected. He was walking away with his back to the umpire and was thrown out of the game. And Nick is going to get his money's worth right here.
He's going to get more than his money's worth. The longer he stays out there, the more he's going to have to pay in a fine.
He had walked back toward the dugout with his back to Hoy when he was tossed.
That gets him. Okay, not too pleased. See that right away.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't know that there's a history here, but when you have a strike thrower on the mound like Michaelis, and you come up and in, not even close to the plate, you got to be thinking, man, is there supposed to be a message behind that?
Oh, my.
Yeah, we're going to get a warning here. And Wade Miley is not happy. He's saying, I'm trying to throw a cutter inside.
Now Craig Counsell out to check in on things.
Well, the warning has been issued.
Yeah.
Any funny stuff the rest of the way, the pitcher and the manager's gone.
I don't blame the umpire.
Gary Cedarstrom, now the crew chief, is coming in to try and talk with Craig Counsell as well. That seemed like a really, really early warning for no apparent reason. There's 2 outs. There's nobody on base. Tyler O'Neill with a cutter down and in. And now Craig Counsell looking for an explanation from Corey Blaser, and he's not getting one. And Mike Schilt is just waiting patiently to get his turn on the warnings. And Craig Counsell just got tossed by Corey Blaser.
Well, Blaser said something right before the Molina at bat to the Brewers dugout, and I don't know what he said, but Blaser was pretty animated at that point in time. And now Craig Counsell's going to get his money's worth.
He's trying to get his team going, and he's not happy with 2 calls here from Corey Blaser.
Pilar's going to third. There's the throw from Higashioka, and he guns him down. Pilar gambling with 2 outs, and he loses this bet. He is thrown out on a terrific throw by the catcher, Kyle Higashioka, and it was. That's what Gibbons is upset. Like, what are you looking at the scoreboard? And he's right. You can't get thrown out there. You're trying to mount a comeback. You don't see that very often from Gibbons, but that's a situation where you got to know what the score is. Pilar's thrown out at third to end the inning. Ground ball. Morales will come home. They get the force out. Return throw. Travis is in the air. He didn't get there in time. If he'd have got there on the bag, he would have had a chance to make the play. And John Gibbons is going to come out here, and I'm not sure what he's going to talk about. I just think he's frustrated.
That's the feeling I get too. He wants to air him out just a little bit. We got a shot of him being frustrated last inning when Pilar got thrown out at third base, and I think he just wants to let some steam off.
Travis was late getting to the bag on that play, and he caught the ball before he got to first. He was in the air. Larry Vanover, the crew chief, is over, and John Gibbons has been thrown out here.
Third of the way down the line. Here's the pitch. Fastball, a strike. And that's on the inside corner. The count is 0-2 on Gordon. 0-2 on D. Steps back in. He's not happy with the call by Malinsky. And now Malinsky has a conversation with D. And D barking at Malinsky. And here comes Scott Service out of the dugout to save his second baseman. So Scott Service is credited with a save right there.
Yeah, I think he got there just in time.
Oh! Service has been thrown out of the ball game by Mike Malinsky. So Scott Service giving Malinsky a piece of his mind, and Scott right now is getting his money's worth, but Scott Service saved D. Gordon. D. Gordon is still in the game. Scott isn't, but D is.
Ooh. 1-2 on Brantley. He struck out in the first inning and then singled in his next two at-bats with an RBI.
Hold on.
Now,
Get out of here.
oh, wow.
I think that's Dale.
That was a.
I think Dale got tossed.
That didn't take very long.
Oh, my. Ooh, Dale.
Ramon de Jesus. With a itchy trigger finger.
We're just getting ready to say how he overthrows a lot, and you don't have to. Clearly Altuve taking the brunt of that fastball.
There's some seams.
Might have an elbow guard tomorrow.
Well, that's right in the lower back. No chance for Ohtani to get out of the way of that.
Well, I'm warning that is retaliation for Jose Altuve being hit. I mean, because Osuna's got pretty decent command. Both dugouts warned. Now McGuire's been tossed. Both dugouts have been warned, but I mean, you can use discretion if you're the umpire, if there's intent on that pitch. An automatic ejection for McGuire and for Socia. It's not automatic ejection, but home plate umpire Bruce Dreckman ejected him. Socia, of course, gets run after both benches had been warned.
Fastball comes running back, and he tosses the bat away. Ignores Sam Holbrook, who was eyeballing him all the way back.
Mark Reynolds just threw his bat down in disgust and said that was not fun.
And Reynolds has been ejected.
Mark is saying those pitches were outside. I didn't say there goes the gloves. Sam Holbrook wants to throw the batting gloves out of the game too. Did you see him eyeballing those? Snaps his mask back on. Mark Reynolds had a point when you look at PitchCast, and Ryan Zimmerman laughing. I think he threw him out twice is what Ryan's mentioning. He threw Mark Reynolds out of the game twice. Not once, but twice.
Chase rate last year, across major leagues, the average chase rate, meaning pitches that hitters chase out of the strike zone, for major league pitchers is around 30%.
And here comes Boone. They've been drawn with the home.
Love it.
I think the fans have been waiting for that for a long time. And you know that Boone lives and dies with each loss, but now it's manifested by getting thrown out there and really going nose to nose, bill to bill with Nick Lentz.
And he walked him. Ball
might not go. That'll load the bases. Boy, and Jimenez now at 30 pitches. Oh, Gardy is upset with first base umpire Paul Nart. He's coming out to get Jimenez, it appears, and Nart none too happy. And he's gone. He just threw him out, so both managers have been ejected from the ballgame.
Gardy threw him out too, so he's got to go too.
Jimenez was walking toward Paul Nart, and his teammates had to stop him. Well, he's thrown out, so now he's going to continue the conversation with Nart. It was a really close pitch on that check swing by Voit. I know Joe thought he went around.
I thought he went around too. We'll get a look at it at some point in time. And Voit got a break there.
This is to begin this inning.
Jose Altuve got called out in the first inning on a ball that was a little bit off the plate. I'm not sure if it stems back to that, but AJ was not pleased in between innings.
Something at the end of the inning, or if a comment was made by an umpire, because he will go out in a heartbeat and protect those guys. And AJ doesn't normally go out there and get heated with too many umpires unless he feels it's a valid point.
Matt Wieters can't reach that one. Chacín baffling at times tonight, and that's his 6th strikeout. And somebody from the Nats dugout has been thrown out.
Matt Wieters.
And Matt Wieters up to the top step, and it appears he has been run by Chad Whitson.
Been a lot of frustration with umpires lately from Nats hitters. You remember Mark Reynolds thrown out, now Matt Wieters. Matt Wieters never gets mad, does he?
Coffee. 3-2, and he'll be in there for strike 3. And Xander upset with Will Little on that last one. And he has been thrown out of the ballgame. Tossed out after striking out on yet another pitch that looked like it was outside the strike zone. Will Little has had, to put it mildly, a liberal strike zone. We'll take the break. 6-1, Chicago.
Oh, someone else just got thrown out now. That might be Porcello. Yep.
Yep, Rick Porcello hopping mad. He's certainly not alone among the Red Sox tonight. And Will Little with another name to write down. I mean, this is
on Friday, I think he was talking about the day that Matt Bilal threw his live BP on the field, and he was working on a different arm angle.
And Beltre hit by a pitch. And I think, did he throw Bilal out?
No, I think he gave him a warning. He had to give him a warning. Oh, really? Tossed him?
Now that is silly. If you're going to bring somebody in to hit Beltre, who's 0 for 3 in the game.
As we like to say, there's no court awareness right there, and you're giving the umpire way too much power. Give the warning. Do not throw anybody out. Just give the warning.
Well, why even give him a warning?
If you're going to do anything, just give him a warning. Don't go straight to the worst case scenario.
That might be one of the worst ejections I've ever seen. And the manager may follow him. Bilal talking with the crew chief, and now Bilal is going to express himself directly with the home plate umpire.
No, he just want to talk to him. Bilal doesn't allow himself to get overheated. And once again, that was not intentional. It happened right in the same breath I was saying, like, he's been working on a new arm angle, because he was an over the top guy. He's starting to drop down just a little bit, and he got away from him.
And Paul Molitor, I don't think has been ejected, but he's still jawing, or was before walking off now, with Alan Porter, the home plate umpire. I'm sorry, that I'll say it again, that's one of the worst ejections I've ever seen. You just said he's working with a new arm slot.
The 1-0 home. 2-0.
I think this is the frustration that was building up on the Brewers side. Morales has taken a lot of guff today, but not so much from the Cubs side. But he was at his breaking point, regardless of who he was going to hear from next. He heard a little bit from Edwards, and then he got it from Joe. And when Joe said his piece, he'll head to the clubhouse and become a fan like the rest of us.
Well, we're not exactly sure what happened here, but nothing seemed to go against the Royals in the bottom of the fourth inning. Brad Keller gave up a leadoff double and then retired the next three. And now Ned Yost is arguing with home plate umpire Marty Foster. And it would appear that somebody got thrown out. And now.
Yep. Not sure who, but
Dale Swaim is at the bottom of the screen there.
Somebody got run. Like I said, travel day, hot, 100-degree heat index. Tempers are flaring.
The 2-2. Oh, I'm not sure if Souza was turning left because that was strike three, or he was trying to sell it was outside. And Kurt Suzuki's having a long chat with Mark Rippinger about that. Wow.
You don't see Kurt turn around and go mask to mask.
That was a strike for Zach Greinke all night.
Yeah, it was.
So second freebie. Here it is. And it's taken low, ball four. So instead of strike three, Arizona has the tying runs aboard. And I'm betting you Brian Snitker's going to wait for Mark Rippinger to come to the mound and ask him where that last pitch was. You cannot argue balls and strikes. That's an automatic ejection. But Brian Snitker, yeah, he was waiting for Rippinger to give him an explanation, and then he just got thrown out.
And his hand gestures would lead you to believe when you got a guy ready to go back to the dugout and you don't call him out.
That pitch was a strike all night. Rippinger didn't call it. Suzuki turned and went, as you said, mask to mask. And Brian Snitker waited for the home plate umpire to come to the mound so that he could vent. And now he's been ejected from the game.
Managing. Another low strike call. That's two in the at-bat that Rippinger gave to Venters. And now it's Souza who's venting. And he's been ejected. Well, Brian Snitker, the Braves manager, was ejected earlier for arguing balls and strikes during a pitching change at the mound. And now Tony Perez-Chica trying to restrain Steven Souza Jr.
Well, it's kind of become a thing this year, guys arguing a called third strike and walking away from the umpire and getting ejected as they're on their way back to the dugout. This is at least the dozenth time I've seen this year.
And Torey Lovullo getting an explanation. Usually, even if the player is facing the dugout, he sees that as an opportunity to use a magic word, and generally that's what gets him run. Let's see these two low strike calls on these sinkers from Venters.
borderline. And nearly the same pitch again.
That's not a, those aren't terrible calls. They're, as you said, borderline strikes.
And a swing and a miss. Ender flings the bat down, didn't run. First base was occupied anyway. He's tagged out. Now he looks back at home plate umpire Doug Eddings just got thrown out of the game. That is a very quick hook. And Ender's going to go nose to nose with Doug Eddings as he's been ejected from this game in the 4th inning in Phoenix.
Doug Eddings loves it. Target moving away.
Strike 3. Big sweeper, and Duvall took it over the inside corner. And Doug Eddings, as he so often does, ump show with a mask off.
Yep, FaceTime.
It handcuffed Avila, and I think that's what frustrated Duvall. He was crossed up, and it was called a strike.
Absolutely, he was.
2 hits and 3 runs.
Got him.
I had a feeling that was going to happen.
Bruce Bochy is not going to hang around in this game.
No. I think he threw Bochy out before he said anything.
Tom Helio is going to try to save Adam Hamari, but I'm doubtful that's going to work either.
Hey, I'm okay with the fire. I'm okay with someone finally getting mad. I mean, Giants need a little of that, you know, like be upset. Hundley's been building all.
Well, look, he's
behind the dish.
He's watched it from the other angle, right?
Yeah.
Is supposed to hit next, but it's Matt Kemp in the on-deck circle, and a balk was just called.
Pretty late balk call.
You can't argue a balk call.
Gutierrez arguing with it because he felt like Rustin stepped off.
That's huge. Takes the double play out of order. And now Buddy will come out. Did he just throw him out? I mean, I think that was a signal from Andy Fletcher. He kept trying to tell him, he goes, you can't argue that call. Cannot argue a balk call. So he just ran Buddy. And I think this has something to do with the balk and a lot to do with the strike zone, Corey.
Yeah, I think when we look back at the balls and strikes that we've seen Fletcher call, Bud's been waiting to let it eat a little bit.
This is threefold for me. This is the strike zone, a little bit of the balk, and the fact that because of the strike zone, his pitchers have walked 7. See if he makes an inside move, which is legal.
I mean, that's an inside move.
That's an inside move. I don't know why that's a balk. You can do that.
See if he challenges Braun. The 2-0 inside. Heffley trying to hit him there. I mean, there'd be no reason. Ryan Braun saying so far off the plate, and he's feeling the same thing, and the benches start to pour out here. Nick Hundley gets between Braun and Bumgardner, who is barking back.
Brewers are out, Giants are not.
Yeah, I mean, he's had such impeccable control the whole game, and all of a sudden now he's instead of 4 balls, if he figures, well, if I hit him, I hit him. I don't think he had any intention of pitching to Braun there. He was thinking about Jonathan Schoop, who was on the on-deck circle the whole time.
Bruce Bochy on his way to the mound. Not sure if this is a mound visit or not. The Giants don't have anybody warming in their bullpen. I think Bochy, if the home plate umpire is going to talk to his pitcher, I think he wants to be a part of the conversation.
Kind of a polite disagreement between Bumgarner and Braun. He got him on the jersey.
And as far as Braun stands away from the plate, there's no way Bumgarner's not trying to hit him there, in my opinion.
Craig Counsell wants to see if the umpire issued a warning.
Well, the stage is set now. Bases loaded. If there was ever a... Oh, Craig Counsell just got tossed. That went from...
He couldn't believe it.
DEFCON 1 to DEFCON 5 quickly.
My goodness. What was that?
And he's talking about a warning. He says, if you issued a warning on that, I couldn't make out the rest. But obviously that puts the Brewers in a tough spot.
I can't believe he threw him out, number one. I mean, that's ridiculous. He was down at the dugout. He just upset about the warning issue. I don't know. Craig Counsell's not one to get too overly aggressive with umpires.
This is as mad as Counsell has been all year, and he is letting Tom Hallion have it, and Hallion's giving it right back to him.
Well, it has an effect on both teams when umpires issue warnings like that. It's so subjective. Once you issue a warning, whether a guy gets thrown out if you hit somebody, it affects both. That's what Craig Counsell's upset about.
While we were away, Lance Barrett has ejected both Matt Carpenter and Mike Shildt.
You know, Dan, we had a disagreement between innings. I thought the ball was a strike, and then we saw it again, and you were right. It was a ball.
Yeah, it was off the plate.
Yeah.
And then Mike Shildt went out, and it wasn't really a heated argument. You know, it wasn't like he was in his face or anything like that. They were just having a conversation, and then boom.
I was thinking that it was almost the politest ejection that we've seen all year.
Two and one. Gardner thought that pitch was a little high, and he's being very emphatic about the way he disagreed with it.
Swing and a miss. And Gardner has some words and gets thrown out by Rehab.
It was all about the 2-0 pitch. As Gardy strikes out, that pitch changed the whole at bat. I'm not sure what he said, but he got the instant ejection. And Aaron Boone does what any good manager does, trying to save his player from getting into further difficulty.
Well, Todd Frazier was ejected from the game in between innings for continuing to argue balls and strikes. Jeff McNeil, who hasn't played third base in a month and a half, is going to move to third, and Wilmer Flores comes into play second. This was Frazier after he was unhappy with a couple of strike calls.
Oh, geez, he threw him out when he was at first base because he continued to argue. See what happens for the player. He goes in and sees the pitch and sees the same pitch cast that we see and saw that was off the plate.
He doesn't need to go look at a camera. The ball was outside. You know it's outside.
Well, Charlie Montoyo's managing the team now that Kevin Cash
has been ejected by Mark Carlson. And he's made the pitching change. Let's go back to that balk call.
Well, the first thing you want to look at, does this right here cross the rubber? And it does not. So that's out. So now you think where he steps. And it was determined, listen, by Torres over there at third base that he had stepped past that 45-degree angle. He's coming out. Mark Carlson's telling him, you can't step past this line or I'm going to have to run you. I mean, this is absurd. He's like, well, I'm going anyway.
Yeah, there was the little kind of half-hearted ejection.
I mean,
yeah, that's not good.
Try to sanitize everything.
Yeah, that's not good.
The stuff is there, is the command. And in a couple of the pitches to Sanchez and then that one to Torres, they haven't been bad misses. That's what John Gibbons is saying right there, or something to that effect. And he just got tossed. I think Gibby just got tossed by Roberto Ortiz, the home plate umpire. Somebody did.
Yeah, and that was a little bit too short a fuse in my mind. Gibby was sitting down in the dugout. He wasn't demonstrative at all. Roberto Ortiz is a home plate umpire. He's a young umpire, just 33 years old. He's from Puerto Rico. He's only the second full-time Puerto Rican umpire in the big leagues. And I think that was much too quick to throw out the manager.
I'm not sure it was Gibby. Now, as I look down to the dugout, Luke Maile was really letting Ortiz have it. And I looked down as soon as Ortiz had tossed somebody out. Now Gibby's gone. So Luke Maile was the first guy who got tossed. And now John Gibbons is going to join him. Initially, and this is the pitch. And it might be an inch off the plate. It's a little bit outside, but I think that Maile and Gibbons both thought that Reed Foley had gotten squeezed a little bit in the Sanchez at bat as well.
Yeah, but there's no reason to throw somebody out hollering from the bench. And there you see Luke Maile leaving, and it's not like he's throwing helmets on the field or anything else.
Gallagher, safety squeeze, and now they got Escobar to pickle. Oh, and it hits Escobar in the back. A run scores for the Royals. The troubles continue for Minnesota.
This throw ran high, and then you get a situation where you try to rush that throw back off balance because of where it was, and not much of a throwing lane in that spot. Paul Molitor just gets thrown out of the game.
Cervelli does the big twist. Ken Hurdle, I think, just got tossed. That might have been Cervelli. So Hurdle said something to Trip Gibson as he was leaving the field. It was Cervelli. Well, but I know, but Hurdle said something, and then Cervelli said something. Yeah. But Hurdle turned and yelled at Gibson.
Francisco's the one got thrown out.
Hurdle's about ready to. If he
you have to be thrown out now because it's almost.
Yeah, he's gone.
Strike 3 call. So that is a big strikeout as Marcus Semien gets caught looking. And Marcus Semien called out on a pitch that was clearly outside, and he's still chirping to Larry Vanover. And when Bob Melvin saw that, Bob Melvin went out to talk to Larry Vanover. Yeah. And Larry Vanover then threw out Bob Melvin. And they had a pretty good discussion, and then Bob got heated up and Larry Vanover threw him out. What we'd like to do is throw out that strike 3 call out there because it was pretty bad.
It was bad. And, unfortunately, with the grading system, he's probably going to get graded 99% in tonight's game. And it's been horrible, really.
Well, Phil Cuzzi will file his report and ejection in between innings. Bench coach Chip Hale was run by Phil Cuzzi. Who has had enough. And if I had to guess, he's grumbling about the pitch that was called a strike to Rendon that would have turned in another run.
Guy gets hit by a ton of pitches. That sounded like it hit the knob of the bat. They're calling it a foul ball.
Why?
Wingender wisely just takes it himself. I mean, that ball went right into play. It hit the knob of the bat. It was in fair territory. And now Andy Green coming out to chat with Ryan Blackney, the home plate umpire who made that call.
Well, the slow-mo you can see, and does have that left hand and that finger.
I mean, it clearly hit the bat. You could hear that. And then it rolled into fair territory. And Wingender very heads up, able to make the play. And Andy demonstrating exactly what happened to Ryan Blackney. I'm sure he loves that. And they're going to talk about it. And this is probably going to be good for the Padres. One of these managers will be very unhappy when this conversation ends. Another look at it. And it sounds like now they are going to put on the headsets and talk to New York. Fingers don't sound that way. Bats do. Taking the headsets off here. Uh-oh. Anytime they want to talk.
That's not going to go over well.
We really would love the umpires to be able to address the paying customers in the ballpark, the folks watching on television, listening on radio. Be able to explain what happened. And I think Andy's out there at this point to make a point. And there he goes. He's been ejected. And he's going to get his money's worth with the crew chief fielding Cobra. It was a fair ball. It was an out. And in a one-run game, Andy is fighting for every single out he can get. And now, by the way, the umpires are back on the headsets in New York, although this could just be to figure out what the count is. They're giving him a base. Okay, so it's a hit by pitch.
To me, this is embarrassing. It's embarrassing in baseball.
And he's still bunting, and it's a strike, and he's not happy, and it's 1-2.
He's got a gripe.
And Mickey Callaway is furious. Has he been thrown out of the game?
No. Yeah, he said you just missed 2 pitches. Did he run McNeil?
No, I think he ran. Did he run both McNeil and Callaway? No, I think he ran Callaway. I think McNeil's still in the game. So Mickey obviously reacted from the bench, and DJ Rayburn gave him a quick hook.
Wow, I'll say.
And this is as animated as we've seen Mickey this entire season.
Yes.
In game number 153.
Well, that's a quick injection. Can't argue balls and strikes. That's how it works. But I like the fight a lot.
Second time Callaway's been ejected in his rookie season as manager.
Oh, come on. Oh, he said he went.
Yeah.
Stride, he's keeping his head perfectly still.
Strike 3 call. Nationals down to their final out.
How did he get thrown out? He was walking back to the dugout. You can see Bryce say he didn't say a word, and then DJ Rayburn saying, "You didn't say that? You didn't say that?" He kept saying it over and over again. The home plate umpire kept saying, "You didn't say that. That ball's obviously off the plate." I think it's all Bryce said is that was so bad, and you can say that. And Bryce is saying, "I didn't say a word." He was walking back to the dugout. It was over. And I think as an umpire, you got to let it.
2-2 on Shaw. And he got him. Strikes him out. Big fastball from Shaw. 98 miles an hour on the outside corner. And there is out number 2.
Yeah, this guy can bring a little bit. He's got that slider to go with it.
Brewers dugout, and now Travis Shaw is yelling back at Foster. I think Shaw's been ejected.
And Travis Shaw was never mad at the home plate umpire, but I don't know what really provoked him to throw out Travis.
I'm not sure if he actually tossed him. No, he did. Yeah, he threw him out. I mean, you never know what was said. On the surface, though, it's a pretty hot pennant race going on here.
Yeah.
throws it away. Well, that is 4 gift runs we've given them tonight. Well, he still can grab the bag easily.
But he went out to get him with his right arm.
I saw that.
Yeah.
The rules they have today are a little bit different than ones you and I played.
They are. That's it. And now
Joe threw him
he
out.
threw Tim out of the game.
Yeah.
And Ricky's going out there. He wants to make sure Tim doesn't get to Joe West.
Ricky's going to get run. This will be after the challenge as they're talking. And now Ricky gets run.
Ricky wants to get his money's worth as long as he's rung already. Also let him know how you really feel.
Well, we're seeing it. You know, my first 2 rules. You got to catch the balls, number 1. And second rule is don't mess with Joe West.
Got him swinging. Jock Peterson just got thrown out of the game. I think Dave's saying he wasn't mad at you.
The 2-2 to Carpenter. Struck him out. Didn't like it. Struck him out. And he has words with the home plate umpire. Jose Oquendo racing down the third base line, and now Carpenter's been tossed.
It's real little our home plate umpire.
It turned around, and he's tossed after going back towards the dugout. He's going back towards the dugout. This is an important game, clearly.
We don't know if he said something loud enough to be heard, a magic word, but as you said, you could turn your back and kind of say, walk away and let it go.
He wasn't doing this. He was going to the dugout.
Ooh, that pitch got him on the hand, and he's headed to first.
And he gets low bridged, and he's taking a look at Kittredge. You wonder if that was retribution for hitting Bowers. And Sabathia came out of the dugout and was kind of intercepted by Boone. Sabathia didn't like that at all.
This is just too much of a targeted look from Kittredge.
Sucre leads off. And he hits him. And now CC just lost himself $500,000 as he's thrown out of the game. That was the perfect guy to throw out. Sucre, the catcher, after they threw at Romine. And that's why CC's teammates love him, David.
CC don't play.
Well, that answers the question on what Sabathia was going to do. You know, he was the guy that took the role too, coming out of the dugout. He wasn't real happy when the ball went up and in or behind Romine. But after hitting Sucre, no question on purpose, he went right into the Rays dugout after somebody.
And you said it well, Michael. That's CC Sabathia in a nutshell right here. And what is potentially the last game he may pitch for the Yankees.
The Yankees did not like what happened in the top of the 6th. And Sabathia drills Sucre. He gets thrown out. Boone gets thrown out. And he said, "That's for you," and added a little salt at the end.